Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Got an unusual repair I did here today. It's for the same gentleman that owns the 55 commercial. He had brought me another engine that was typical of what I get from these kind of remote people who live a subsistence lifestyle but also commercial fish. So this engine was, it had a big owie. I thought about it and I said, you know, I can probably do something with it. So it's not perfect, but it's going to work and it's going to let this engine go back. He only used it as a backup engine anyway. So I'm going to show you something that's a little unusual that I did. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to get them back if you don't want to spend a mint on them, especially when they're in kind of rough shape anyway. So let me show you what I did and what I was working with. Okay, I'm going to shake you a little bit here. Alrighty. Okay, here's the engine in question. This is what was broke on it. That don't look too bad, huh? Like I said, these boys are hard on them. So there's what I was dealing with. He had no way to hang it on the back of his engine because he snapped everything off. So let's look at this engine. Okay, first I'm going to take you down here and show you something. I don't know if this camera's going to pick it up, but we're going to try. Okay. I don't know if you can see it, but it says 25R78C. And then right down at the very bottom, right here, it says Johnson Outboard, Waukegan, Illinois, USA. That's what that says. Okay. Now let me back off and zoom out and show you what we're working with. Oops, that ain't a Johnson. That's a Yamaha 4-stroker with a Johnson 25R, 25 horsepower transom clamp on there. And so you know what I mean? Sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. Where are you at? There. Yamaha T 9.9 ELH2. Yamaha. It's an 05, excuse me. So, fairly late model engine. Just tore all to pieces. So, now it's a Yamarude, or a Yama Johnson. But anyway, it's not perfect. It's got some play right up in here and stuff. But overall, I mean, it's going to steer. It's going to steer, and it will actually tilt and everything. So, hopefully it's in there. Yeah. So, like I said, it will tilt for him. It will steer for him. Is it perfect? No. But you can see the white Johnson paint up under the belly side, right in here. I didn't paint that. I had to put a spacer in here. The Yamaha one was longer, so I put a spacer with 2 big washers. There are nylon bushings top and bottom, so even though it's got a little play in it, it'll work just fine. So yeah, Oops, let me get it in here. There we go. What is that on? Yeah. So, that's what's left. It's got some other assorted broken up pieces in there. It's a 9.9, but it's electric start only. He claims it runs good because I got his other engine in my tank right now, his 55. I haven't test run this yet and don't even know if I will. He told me it runs good. I'm just going to go with his word on it. I fixed the transom clamp and made it at least a usable motor. And so and then I adapted Yamaha clamps, or actually, excuse me, Suzuki clamps to the Evinrude screw clamp there. I just drilled this out, and put a roll pin in there that holds them nice. And there's a little slop, if you can see right up in there. I don't know. There's a little slop, so it's going to slop a little bit. But you know what? He can use this engine now, and like I said, I cut a piece of pipe. This pipe right here, you can see I cut it right there. I measured that distance and cut me a piece of this pipe, that width, to take up the slack because the original Yamaha was longer. Then I put a nice big washer here and a nice big washer there. In here there's a nylon bushing. So, and same up top, there's a big nylon bushing up there. So I think it's going to be fine. You do have to pull the lower unit to do this, to get the shift rod, the shift out of there. I was real worried about that, but it actually shifts fine. Reverse, neutral, forward. But yeah, it runs down through this, so I was a little worried about that, whether I could make it happen or not. But after I sat and looked at it for a little bit, I said, I think I can do this. And she shifts good and everything, and nice transom clamps. And the moral of the story is, I move my stool. When you get something brought to you like this, if I would have, or he would have, had to buy this Yamaha OEM, well, to buy this, as broke as it all is, I'm guessing several $100s. Plus, not to mention the labor to put it on. So sometimes you just got to do what you can do for folks who don't want to spend the bank account on it. So that right there is an awful Johnson, probably 70s era, 25 horsepower OMC, and I adapted it on there. It don't look bad. If you were walking by it and it was hanging on the back of a boat, I doubt you'd notice. So a little bit of pipe, a few washers, some bushings, a little spray paint, and I think he'll be really pleased. I'm not going to charge him that much for the repair. It all went fairly smoothly, so I got him all done. As far as the tilt mechanism, I'm just going to install a pin, and then I put a compression bolt on the two halves of the engine, that bolt that holds everything together, just like, say, an Evinrude 8 horsepower. That's how it works. It don't have a latch or anything. It's just compression from how tight you tighten the bolts. That's the way this one's going to be. It's fairly tight going up, fairly tight coming down, and then I'll just have a pin if he wants to put it in the up position. So very basic stuff. It's kind of like going back to the old 50s big twin type deal. That's all they had. You pulled them up and they had a little pin you push in and you set it down on the pin. That's the way I'm going to set this one up. So I got to drill a hole, put a little pin and a spring and a clip, and then this will be done. And so it's now a Johnny Haw. So, but he'll get it back and use it until he destroys it again. So thanks for watching.